Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this particular video, I will be doing an in-depth analysis behind a particular patriarch of Shaolin. In the patriarchy of Shaolin, one might find the notion behind a Chinese general known as Dazu Wike. Now, in the legend of Dazu Wike stems a master, which from said master, we then see a divide within said lineage and practice of Shaolin. Whom might have been said master? Well, that is Bodhidharma. In 9th century CE, a Persian monk by the name of Bodhidharma ventured eastward into China through the Tibetan mountains. And through his arrival into now China, he arrived at a temple where he essentially asked if he could be welcomed as a guest to be housed. By being turned away, he then pursued to meditate within a cave close to said temple, and he meditated there for 9 years until one day a Chinese general by the name of Dazu Wike broke him out of his meditation. And in this breaking of meditation, Dazu Wike would ask Bodhidharma, upon stepping outside of the cave, "Will you take me on as a disciple?" To which Bodhidharma responded with, "Once the snow turns red." Dazu Wike went to unsheath his sword and cut off his left arm. He then grabbed the severed limb off the ground and sprinkled said blood onto the snow. And from here we see that Dazu Wike, the patriarch of Shaolin, stemmed from a master of a different particular martial art known as Karate Payatu, which is a Persian martial art. And in these teachings, we might find now a separate lineage of said Shaolin, which each lineage represents in the current culture of said China. One might find within the Shaolin lineage in its duality, you might find the Wuzhan, which are Buddhist monks whom grow their hair their entire lives at a certain part of said crown. And then you find that within said culture of the Wuzhan, representing a more Hindu-like, or more specifically Sikh-like valor for hair, stemming from Persia in India at this particular time. Now, you also find a split in the other lineage, known as, if I remember correctly, the Shijin, which the Shijin believed upon ridding the self of your hair, of your memories, only then do you find your true power. The complete opposite from the Wuzhan. And in said lineage, we then see the final divide representing both cultures. To this present day, those that valor and value Shaolin and respect said Shaolin upon performing the Namaste, rather than doing it both arms together, they do it with one arm behind the back and one hand forward as they perform the Namaste in order to commemorate Datsuwike. And in these two different lineages, we also see the different valors of the two walks of Chinese folk, which to this day, each lineage of Shaolin is very much represented between the two opposing political parties or political views of said Chinese people, stemming from the divide of the Shaolin teachings regarding where might we find our true power. The moment you lose your identity, or the moment you sustain and fight for said identity, now we could find that in this particular divide, you also see the different rulers that have come to be within said China. And so, what might have been your true stance in said time? Would you have been a Wuzhan, or would you have been a Shijin? Thank you.